The BLP reports on its stewardship over the past year at a public rally. The Attorney General says it will take more than laws to deal with lawlessness. And Barbadians Dane Skeet and Tyler Mayhew are Sol Rally Barbados 2019 champions.
Broadcasting from our studios in the Pine St. Michael, this is CBC Newsnight, starting now.
This segment of Weekend Newsnight, brought to you by Sagicor, wise financial thinking for life.
Very good evening to you. I'm Lisa Broom, and this is Newsnight. In our top story tonight, Prime Minister Mia Amor-Mottley is expected to report on the achievements of the past year and outline plans for the future as the Barbados Labour Party commemorates its first anniversary since its historic election victory. She will do so during a public meeting currently underway at Carlisle Car Park. Many people have turned out for the meeting. Many of the Prime Minister's cabinet colleagues and other parliamentarians will also be speaking, updating the nation on their progress and what's in store for the future. Let's take a listen.
Serve youth and community empowerment and the member for Christchurch West Central.
So I lift my head up to the skies and question the heavens, asking why must I go on to live in this violence and crime? Why can't I storm the lands I know and watch all my children?
Good night, Barbados. Good night, Christchurch West Central. I come to tell you one thing tonight. Don't worry about the thing, because every little thing. I want to sing with me, Barbados. Don't worry about the thing, because every little thing. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Under me, I'm Amor-Mottley and the Barbados Labour Party and this government, rest assured that every single thing will be all right. And we ask you one simple thing. After 12 months in office, we ask you to stay the course. Stay the course, and Barbados will be a force. Barbados will be a force around the world under the astute leadership of Mia Amor-Mottley. And I want to tell you tonight, man, don't mind the Prime Minister called it the atmospheric noise. It may be the mesospheric noise, but the noise is only the noise. Because in order to recognize what we have achieved, you must understand where we came from. You must understand that we were at the bottom of the political chasm, at the principle of destruction. And we came after 12 months and rescued this country. We came after 12 months.
Well, Prime Minister Mottley is expected to give her address from 10 tonight. On May 24th, 2018, the BLP's victory at the polls created history in several ways, including the election of the first female Prime Minister of Barbados and the party winning all 30 seats in Parliament. The Mia Amor-Mottley administration has passed a total of 65 laws since taking over the government 1 year ago. But Attorney General Dale Marshall has cautioned that laws alone cannot fix the problems facing society. He made the comments during a church service to mark government's 1 year anniversary at the St. Aidan's Anglican Church. Sharika Griffith has more.
The Attorney General's comments come against the backdrop of the latest murder, which occurred on Friday. He notes there have been 26 in just the first 5 months of the year, compared to a total of 27 for all of 2018. The AG says government passed an extraordinary number of laws in the last 12 months dealing with everything from health to crime, but he says it still takes a village to raise a child.
So you can ask the question, if we have to pass 65 laws, does it mean that our society needs more laws to govern it? I hope not. But the only way that we can be sure that the efforts of Parliament bears fruit is if we recognize that we need our churches, that we need our schools, we need to get youth groups going again. We need to do so many things to make sure that those 65 laws actually begin to achieve something.
During his sermon, priest in charge Reverend Brian Thompson urged worshippers to keep the faith, even as they face challenges with the water supply and bus service.
We should not be complaining and cursing and quarreling. We should not put our hands up in the air and start blaming and cursing a particular minister or a particular government. But as Christians, my friends, we're not to fear these things, but to look at them boldly, my friends, in the face and say that my God did not give me a spirit of fear, but a spirit of faith and trust in God.
The scene at St. Aidan's was reflected at dozens of other churches across the island as MPs joined their respective constituents for worship. Sharika Griffith, CBC News.
Thanks, Sharika. Well, we're also hearing tonight that motorists will pay 5 cents more for every litre of gas they put into their vehicles come midnight tonight. They'll also have to pay 6 cents more per litre for diesel. In fact, the cost of all petroleum products has gone up in keeping with government's policy of allowing retail prices to be reflective of those on the international market. As a result, the retail price of gasoline will increase from $3.88 per litre to $3.93 per litre, while diesel will rise from $3.08 per litre to $3.14 per litre. Kerosene will also increase from $1.41 per litre to $1.43 per litre. And similarly, the price of liquefied petroleum gas or bottled gas, well, that has also increased. The 100-pound cylinder will retail for $158.71, up from $149.60. The 25-pound cylinder will now be sold at $44.78, up from $42.50, while the 22-pound cylinder will cost $39.57, an increase of $2.01. Additionally, the 20-pound cylinder will retail at $35.97, up from $34.15. Barbados must step out of its comfort zone and seek out new markets for its products and services. That's the belief of Minister of the Creative Economy, Culture and Sport, John King. He says Barbados has created many great products like solar water heaters, and it's time that Barbadians think about what else they can export.
The time has come when our people must remove the world from their eyes and open their eyes and see the opportunities that exist for us, not just in Africa. This is not about romance. This is about being realistic. 166 square miles cannot and will not ever be able to sustain a growing population.
Minister King was speaking during the launch of Joseph, the latest undertaking of local company Step by Step Productions, which produced the award-winning film Barrow Freedom Fighter. Barbadian-born Hollywood producer Marietta Carter Narcisse will also have a hand in the production of the film. Minister King says he has a list of other successful people with Barbadian connections who he will be reaching out to for assistance.
There are some things that living on a small island, you would not be aware of. And that's only because of our size and our inability to expand. But the people in the diaspora are the ones who are going to be able to feed into Barbados to help us expand. And so with 2020, the gathering coming up, it is important that we engage and engage and engage not only our own people in the diaspora, but the people on the African continent as well.
And the film is about a young Jamaican doctor who sets out on a quest to find himself and traces his ancestral roots back to Ghana. Cultural ambassador Alison Hines and local entertainer Chantal Lane are part of the cast. Ambassador Hines recently traveled to Ghana, where she visited one of the castles where enslaved Africans were held before being shipped to the West Indies. She believes it's something every black person should experience.
We are taught in school about the Middle Passage, and that's it. We are not taught what came before. We are not taught about the great kingdoms that came before any slavery and any of that happened. We're not taught that. I think that that is missing from our curriculum. Our children should know that they came from great people so that they could understand, you know what? I have it in me to be able to achieve whatever.
In St. Lucia, the Trade Union Federation, or TUF, has presented the government negotiating team with its salary negotiations agreement and is now awaiting a response. We get more in this Gina Philippe report from HTS News Force.
TUF's president, Julian Monrose, recently disclosed that the TUF General Council met and resolved to continue negotiations.
We have agreed that we will continue the discussion. They are considering what we presented. At this point, there is nothing to report.
In December 2018, the TUF's membership overwhelmingly rejected the GNT's lump sum payment. GNT's chairman, Vern Gill, says the team will first assess the TUF's salary negotiations proposal and then present its response.
We didn't have the benefit of having it earlier, so we now have to go and review the proposal and cost it and get back to them.